Hey guys, I'm David, or 1davidj. I'm going to be playing F-Zero GX here. Just going to be doing time attack of all the courses in a row, showing off snaking, which is one of the two major gameplay categories. Got my boy Jeff here with me on commentary.
How you doing?
And so yeah, I'll just go ahead and get started and start explaining kind of what I'm doing as I go. So I will give a countdown here in just a minute. Let's see. Just starting off with the... Okay. And I will give a countdown for 3, 2, 1, go. So starting off with Mute City here, Twist Road. First thing you're going to see is the category's namesake, which is snaking. I'm going to be turning back and forth and picking up a lot of speed. This is its own category because a lot of people don't like snaking, so they made a category without it. And it's actually the main category to not do snaking, but it's so fast that basically, yeah, it was banned to its own category. So I do it anyway because it's fun. Basically, so the game has a lot of tech. I'm trying to figure out like where to start with. First of all, that was extremely fast. Okay, so probably the first thing about snaking is that you can only snake on like roughly flat surfaces. So like when I go through that loop, I can't snake into the loop because I have no grip. Keeping grip is like the single biggest thing with snaking. You have very high acceleration, which means very low grip. Anything that loses speed quickly. Anything that gains speed quickly. A whole bunch of stuff. So
how does snaking work exactly?
So there's a kind of glitchy turning method where when you are in that state, you can turn super sharply as if you were sliding, which normally causes you to lose speed quickly but turn sharply, but you don't actually have the speed loss from it. And for some reason, when you have the high acceleration settings, you gain speed instead. So whenever you're in the process, one of these quick turns, it's called. Also, this slider here, slide all the way to the left for max acceleration, is what allows the snaking method to work. Basically, whenever I'm turning within the same direction, I'm gaining speed, and then every time I switch directions, the few frames that it takes for me to switch back to turning the other way kind of loses some speed. So generally, the wider snaking strides I can take, the more speed I'll gain.
And it just stacks?
Yeah, so basically it just kind of gains speed over time as if you're driving or like doing anything that would gain speed. Anyway, I got a big jump here.
There we go.
Yeah, so this is a split oval. It's an oval with a split, as the name would suggest. It's got a ton of boosters. And yeah, so this part here, the course like bends down away from me, and normally you fly off and die if you're going too fast. But instead of dying, I choose to just fly over the course instead.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. So it's pretty hard to hit all these boosters. Usually there's kind of a plan of like which ones you're aiming for. That was a bit, kind of crashed there, so I didn't have the speed to go for the jump. Something pretty important core mechanic of this game is exchanging your health for boost. Starting on lap 2, so we call them boost laps, you can do that. So it kind of creates like a risk reward with most of what you're doing when you're playing. As a result, due to that and a bunch of other reasons, I will die a lot in this run. My estimate accounts for it, but kind of seeing this run as more of like a showcase than like a strict, finish all 26 courses as fast as possible. Just because, like a death on a long course, there's no lackitude, there's no recovery. You just have to start time attack over. So if you die on the end of a long course, you lose like 2 minutes versus driving slow might lose you 10 seconds. And so the majority of the speedrunning done in this game is just done in individual time attacks, which is also why I'm doing this in time attack mode. It would be faster to do Grand Prix just because I wouldn't have to select the vehicle each time. But since we use different vehicles on different courses, it's preferable to show off the preferred vehicle for each course, so doing it in time attack.
What defines what vehicle you want to do? Is it like turn radius?
So I call it like turn strength. I don't know if there's like a great term for it, but basically the ability to turn during like a turbulent course, so like into a slight upslope. The vehicle I used in the first course is the heavier one that's used in fewer courses, but ones that are relatively flat, just because it's heavier and can pick up a lot more speed. But even like this slight upslope here, as I'm going around that turn, that would cause that vehicle to skid completely. And even this one skids a bit there. And essentially, like, grip is speed, because if you don't have grip, you can't quick turn, which is the turning method that I'm doing. And if you can't quick turn, you can't gain speed.
Makes sense.
So this course is a bit rough. There's not a lot of refiller, so I have to be pretty careful with where I use my boosts. Each time like you press boost, it's like 1.9 seconds of boost with this vehicle. So I'm using a custom vehicle. Basically, it's like a body booster and cockpit The booster and cockpit are the same for all the snaking vehicles. It's pretty much just the body part that controls most of how the vehicle plays. But yeah, so I'm going to be using Condor for most of the run. And then Gantlet, which is the one I used in the first course, I'll use on like, I think 7 courses. And then there's a couple other ones that are used on like 1 or 2 courses each. Also, I clicked the wrong option.
Are the custom vehicles something that's modded in, or is it something that's in the game?
It's in the game. So there's like a whole like custom vehicle editor, and then there's different body parts.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah. It was modeled after, they actually had one in F-Zero X, but it was only in the expansion kit version. And then they brought it to the full game in GX.
Yeah, that I knew about. I didn't know it made it into GX. I never played GX very much.
It's a good game. I'd recommend it.
It was too hard for me. I'm a wiener.
Yeah, the story mode is kind of known for its difficulty, and it is very difficult and very unfair. Unfortunately, you have to use Blue Falcon, and Blue Falcon is not fast, and I like going fast, so I play Time Attack instead. Anyways, here we got Loop Cross. You can really see the game's like kind of 3D aspects on this course, because I spent a lot of time driving like sideways and upside down. Like right now, I'm driving sideways. You can see there's like other parts of the course interlapping. Now I'm upside down. So the course basically has like local and global gravity. This is one of the first courses you really see it. So if you are like either sideways or upside down, if you get too far from the track, it'll disconnect you from the local gravity and you'll switch to global instead. So there's certain places where if you're upside down and you lift off for some reason, you can just kind of instantly die because it will reset you, and there's not really a good way to get back on the course. Another small thing that I'm doing in there, during the refillers, since I can't snake at that speed into those upslopes, there's this drifting method I'm doing called an MTS. I'll probably just call it drifting. It stands for like momentum throttle slide. And basically, you lose grip and turn sideways, and then you strafe forward. And the strafing engines get really strong when you're in that weird state, and so they pull you forward like really fast. If you're on flat ground, usually it's better to just snake. But if you're in a situation that you can't snake for some reason, if you're like in an upslope and going too fast, or there's a few other reasons, then like you'll end up doing an MTS just to kind of get through the section faster. You come out of it with less speed, but getting through it quickly to a place that you can start snaking again is pretty big. Also, this course has a big ridge in the middle and it's narrow, so it's a bunch of wall crashes. It's pretty hard to avoid walls in this category. Yeah, so that was Loop Cross.
Do you lose speed for hitting walls, or do you take damage?
Sorry, say that again?
When you hit a wall, do you take damage, or do you just lose speed?
You take damage. For this vehicle, the damage is somewhat relevant if you hit a bunch of walls, because it's got a pretty low body ranking. For the heavier vehicle, it pretty much doesn't matter.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a glass cannon type build.
Exactly. Which is unfortunate. I mean, it's nice for the heavier one to basically be indestructible, but you got to do what you got to do. The other thing too is if you boost down to like 0 HP, or like it gets to be 1 HP, then regardless of your vehicle, you'll still die if you tap any wall. So that's something to keep in mind. Fortunately, the boost, so the full energy meter lasts like 10 seconds of boost, and since the boost lasts 1.9 seconds with this engine, then if you boost 5 times, you have like just a little bit as a safety buffer. So usually, and it depends on the course too, like how much refiller there is. Like this course, multiplex, has quite a bit of refiller, so it's usually not too much of a concern, unless I mess up a bunch and then do a bunch of backup boosts dangerously. So something else that I haven't talked about yet is MT, which is stands for momentum throttle. It's the first part of the momentum throttle slide. If you're ever in a state that you can't gain speed, so most commonly in an upslope, or if you're in the air because you can't snake in the air, or if you're going over lumps like that where I'm kind of bouncing, I'll just let go of the engine, and if your engine is off, you lose speed a lot slower. Essentially, when the engine's on, it will pull you down to your max speed, and since my acceleration is high, it will pull me down to my max speed very quickly because I will accelerate downward. Whereas if I let go of the engine, it preserves a lot more speed. So you'll see me do that pretty much any place as soon as I can't gain speed for some reason. So like into this upslope, I can't snake, so. There's also some cool stuff you can do with the drift where like I can start the drift earlier and then that leads into a turn to make it around that turn at that level of speed. Because if you just tried like turning that normally, you would not be able to take it at that speed without crashing. Also, that little chicane there is really rude and hard to get through. A lot of times you'll just hit the wall and instantly lose all your speed. Also that dirt, if you're on it, if you're not boosting, it'll slow you down, but if you're in boost state, it's fine. So generally I can just kind of drive over it when I'm boosting. I did a little rail slide at the end there. Specifically, it's an MTS, one of the drifts, against the wall, and instead of Normally an MTS kind of gives you like an arc shape, but if you're up against the wall, there's a wall keeping you from arcing, so you can just zip straight forward really quickly. It is really fast, it costs a lot of energy, so for the most part, you only do them at the end of a course. There's a couple other situations that they're useful in the middle of a run, but like 99% of them you just do at the end of a course. Anyway, we're using a third vehicle here, Tornado Wyvern. This vehicle is even lighter than the other one, and it's used for one trick at the end that I'm going to go for. If I don't get it, because I'm not super consistent at it, hopefully I can at least like show off what it's supposed to look like. But this vehicle has like super strong turn strength, which is pretty useful. And then it also handles really weirdly. Like its strafe is extremely strong, so the turn strides, like you get to the other side of the track really quickly. So you kind of have to keep your strides a little narrower, which is a bit rough. Anyway, this is Drift Highway. It's got a lot of turns that if I wasn't snaking, it'd be really good for drifting. But since I am snaking, I'd usually just turn them instead. Also, the first Big Blue course, so shout outs to Big Blue.
Shout out to Big Blue.
I gotta lose a little more energy here for the thing I'm gonna go for at the end. Okay, this should be okay, I think. Yeah, okay. Hopefully I can get this. I don't think I'm getting it. Oh, I do. Hey!
Yeah! There we go.
So that was the suicide finish. I did an MTS into the wall, and when your vehicle's in a broken down state, it has special physics that whenever it hits the ground and kind of bounces, it'll gain speed. And the last like jump off the edge of the course there kind of acts like a cannon, where like it's pointed upwards, so you keep bouncing just a little bit, and it kind of like launches you upward, and you pick up a ton of speed really, really quickly. And yeah, you can just kind of go barreling out.
Oh my God, yeah, you're hitting every point in the arc, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, like, not every
crazy.
point, but like quite a few points.
Enough to like go insane, yeah.
So there's actually a speed overflow in this game. If you hit over 10,000 kilometers an hour for more than one frame, your vehicle will basically instantly stop. And that's like a common issue that happens on that suicide. You'll break 10,000 kilometers an hour and then
just freeze?
It just basically
fully stop?
Yeah, it stops you to like, I don't know, 3 or 4 kilometers. It's like something really low. But so that's unfortunate when it happens. But
yeah.
Anyway, got Aero Dive here. Shout outs to Rob in the background. You'll see him. This course has a big dive that I'm going to skip all these steps and just kind of fly over them instead. The steps are slow, so I just kind of float in the air and do a big side attack dive instead. If you're in the air, if you like point down and strafe sideways and side attack, you actually pick up quite a bit of speed on the dive. It's more relevant in max speed, but there's a few cases that it's useful in snaking as well, and that's one of them, particularly with heavy vehicles like this one. Interestingly enough, a lot of the snaking players don't use side attacks because there was an old rule from like the 2000s where a lot of people didn't like side attacks. They thought the mashing was stupid. And so the top player doesn't use them. So then the second place player was like, well, to be competitive, I won't use them either, but I don't really care because it's not against the rules, so I'm going to use them because they're fast.
Attaboy. Brother, I'm looking for Rob, and I'm not seeing him.
I will point him out.
Oh, there he is. Nope, I just saw him right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll see him one more time. I think around the dive. I'm trying to remember exactly where he is. Yeah,
there he is.
He's kind of hanging out. I don't know if he was originally, I guess he wasn't originally from this game. I don't really know the history of Rob, but they put him in here for some reason.
Originally, do you not know what Rob is?
No.
Nobody's called Rob, though.
That isn't, Rob is short for robot. That doesn't like mean
No, it's not actually. It's short for...
In general.
No, it's short for Robotic Operating Buddy.
Okay.
Rob was a NES, what's the word? Peripheral.
Okay.
You don't know this?
No.
I'm actually surprised.
I don't know anything about the NES. I never had one.
I didn't have one either, but I know this.
All right.
No, it was like it was a thing that would hold a controller, and there were like 2 or 3 games that worked with it, and they were all kind of mid.
Classic for old console gimmicks.
Oh yeah. But the point was that you could play a co-op game with a little robot toy.
So if you didn't have any friends, you could get Rob.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anyway, so this is Mobius Ring. It's a Mobius strip, kind of, but it's like kind of actually cheating. You're not really on the same side when you're on the other part. There's actually like 2 different pieces of track that you're driving on. You can see around when I go around some of the corners, but I'm going to try to set up and do a big mine boost here if I can. Okay, that wasn't very good. If you hit those mines just right, you can get like a big burst of speed. There's a tech I haven't talked about called Shift Boost, where if you catch air for a short period of time, you get a large burst of speed. and those mines pretty much give you one. So you can hit like 3 in a row and instantly fly up to like 4,000 kilometers an hour.
That's how the ledge boosting works, right? Yeah.
Which I will do a bit of later.
God, yes.
There's also some situations where you can get like shift boost on the course just from like a small ridge. I actually got those on both boost laps on Twist Road, which is why I was saying it was particularly fast. The part where if you just go over it with enough speed, you just get a big shift boost. And shift boosts are like a speed multiplier, so the faster you're going when you start, the more speed they give. So if you have like a really long, this is a bit dangerous. Yeah, okay. The course is ridged, and there's an example where I was upside down, and I kind of noticed I was going a bit too fast, so I was trying to keep the MTS from building up too much speed, but I didn't, and then I kind of hit one of the ridges, because it's kind of weird, because you're like turned sideways as you're drifting, so it's really hard to control the exact direction that you're facing.
Mind if I jump in while we do a bit of a run back?
Oh, yeah.
We have some love coming in for you. $10 from Rip Chip that says, "Hi, David. Hi, Jeff.
Hell yeah. Hi, Rip Chip.
Have fun and go fast."
Thank you.
You've clearly understood the assignment. We are going very fast. I don't know a lot about kilometers, but I know 2,000 of them per hour is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a few, man.
It's at least a couple.
At least.
We've also got some love coming in for that 10 heart event incentive, $25 from Anonymous that says, "Let's see that 10 heart event at the end of the Stardew race," as well as $25 from River that says, "Dr. Harvey Pickle Fund, shout out to my husband."
Shout out to Harvey. What a cutie.
That refiller there is super evil. It's in the middle of a dip, so due to the upslope and limited the grip mechanics, sometimes if you strafe into a situation that you don't have grip, even if you let go of the R trigger, you'll keep sliding in that direction, and you'll slide pretty far. So then I just kind of went up the other side and then popped off and died. So this is an example of, I don't know if I explained before, but you can just kind of die anywhere in this game to anything at any time, which is why I was saying that estimate accounts for a bunch of deaths, but this kind of thing can just happen. So,
I mean, I appreciate having your expertise here, but 9-year-old me could have told you that you can die anywhere at any time on any track with any character.
Oh, there's another one. Yep. Okay.
Boy, howdy, did I find every option.
Yeah. Yeah. If you got a few more donations while I lock in here and try and finish this up.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got $25 from Chenzi Koden that says, "Hi from the audience. This is my first time attending TwitchCon and GDQX, and I'm so happy to be here in person. Here's to an awesome weekend ahead." Thank you so much for that. We've also got $50 from Rocco that just says, "Good luck on the run."
Thank you, Rocco.
Thanks, Rocco.
Thank you.
How's your modern life going? That was a joke for old people like me. It
was a good one.
A nice $50 anonymous donation with no comment, but thank you so much for that generosity, Anonymous.
You know what? That joke wasn't very modern. You know the B-52s did the theme song to that?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not. That's fascinating.
That's crazy.
Full of great trivia today.
I realized when I said that's crazy there, that sounded like when you say that's crazy, you don't care.
That sounded really sarcastic.
But I did not mean that at all. So I figured I will clarify that I did not mean to say that sarcastically.
Just had a $100 donation come through from Stump.
Hey.
It says, "Hello from inside the room." The donation's coming from inside the house. "Good luck, David, and let's make that 10 heart cutscene happen."
Let's make it happen, Captain.
Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
That $100 puts us up to 365 out of the 1,500 we need.
There we go, making progress.
When started? Is that, no, it's next.
Right after this, yeah.
Oh, we can get there.
You guys got to get on that. Yeah.
We can get there, come on.
All right, up next is we got Long Pipe. For some reason, they put 2 Port Town courses in the same cup. I'm not really sure what they were thinking.
What were they thinking, man? Get real.
Seriously. But yeah, so Long Pipe is it's a long pipe, if you can believe it.
No way.
So snaking in pipes is pretty interesting. And by interesting, I mean difficult and annoying and not as fast as you would otherwise be, because every time you turn, you're facing a slight upslope. And like I was saying, if you're in upslopes, then you'll have less grip, and less grip is less speed from snaking. So in general, I kind of just try and drive with the grain, I guess, is the best way to put it. So as the pipe's turning, I want to be turning with it instead of, either facing the upslope or facing a downslope. Some limited places where like I can't snake, so like going through these lumps, I can't. So the best option is just get as much speed as possible. And
Can you get shift boost off those little airtime there?
sometimes you can get them off like one. A little bit more viable in max speed because your speed's a little more consistent. And then one shift boost if you're going like 1,000 kilometers an hour doesn't matter that much.
I see.
And then like you need to be going the right speed because if you're going too fast, you'll just catch air instead of like, for a shift boost, you need to like catch air and land immediately. And if you're going too fast, you'll just fly over instead. These not windmill, but like these rotating bar things are on a cycle. For the most part, you can just kind of avoid them though. I don't ever really know where they're going to be at any given time. Sometimes like on lap 1, I'll get an idea, but for the most part, they're just kind of, they're there. They don't have hitboxes if you're high enough up in the air. So if you're going fast too, you can just kind of fly over them as well. Saving this last 5%, because getting through those bars is pretty risky. But the big thing is like finding places that I can build up a bunch of speed and then just letting go of the engine and carrying it forward. So like I hit these boosters and then just kind of carry the speed as long as I can. Snaking pipes is pretty difficult. Also, I hit that twice after saying it's pretty easy to avoid, but you know. Boosting through this lump helps a lot. Saves probably like several seconds, at least 2. This chicane here, if you're going fast, usually just kills your speed, unfortunately. Sometimes you just kind of get like the god run where you just like fly through, but it's pretty inconsistent. Anyway, sub 2, almost. Okay.
You know, that was a long pipe.
That was a long pipe. The pipes at the end too that get in the way.
I mean, considering you were going at least a couple kilometers per hour, that pipe was at least a couple kilometers long.
Yeah, if you do the math on like, I guess how far, or how long a course is.
These tracks have to be gigantic.
Yeah, just completely astronomical. Anyway, I'm going to be using Tornado Panther here. It's the only time I use this vehicle. I got my boys Gomar and Shio here to...
Oh, look at these boys. Holy crap.
So they're going to be my co-pilots. I actually need 2 co-pilots for this course because it's got a lot of flying, so...
I know they don't have like dex numbers, but can we get some donos with your favorite F-Zero character?
Actually, can we get a dono saying what dex number Gomar and Shio would be? I'm thinking like sock and throw kind of thing. Like
they've got that vibe, yeah.
I think I'm dead actually.
That pose was very sock and throw.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, so that was the first skip that I went for that actually got too much speed. So if you hit those mines, you can fly over part of the course and then land back. But there's actually a limit on how many checkpoints forward you can skip at a time. And the platform that I landed on was just barely like the limit. I don't think I'm quite making that.
I'm so enthralled by the little ones like Star Wars looking head.
Wait, the little one meaning the short one or
the short one?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, what's he got? Like, it looks like he has 4 eyes.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Gomar and Shio, their default vehicle, the twin... Oh, okay, I'm just going to skip that mine boost for now. The twin Narita, it's basically got like two little narrow cylinders that are connected. Anyway, this is the second skip. So I hit that jump plate and just kind of fly over like that. Also, that building doesn't have collision if you're high enough up, so you just kind of float through it.
I was wondering what has collision and what doesn't, because they kind of assume that you're going to get airtime on some of these tracks.
Yeah, it's pretty like kind of inconsistent and random. Some things just have collision, some don't. This pole has collision that I flew over there. If you're slightly lower, that thing has collision, but if you're just high enough, it just doesn't.
Interesting.
I don't know if it was like a like physics optimization thing, or if they were just lazy, or if they...
Maybe the ones that have like randomly have collision are like reused assets that show up closer to the track somewhere else.
Yeah, so if I hit that jump plate, normally you think jump plates are fairly wide, so they're pretty easy to hit. But if you're approaching them at like a 90-degree angle, they're actually pretty narrow because they're skinny. So when I land that skip, if you're not coming from the intended direction, then it's pretty easy to miss them like that. But yeah, from this direction, they're easy to hit like that, so... I missed that.
Which one's Gomar and which one's Shio?
I don't know. That would be a question.
Which one do you think is Gomar?
I think Gomar would be probably the tall guy.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. I'm just going to play this a little bit safe here and finish this out. If you have any donations, you could probably go like one more.
Absolutely. We have $25 from a poor college student that says, Pokemon is my favorite Pikachu. Am I doing this right?
You know what?
Perfect.
Yeah, your heart's there. Your heart's there, man. That's all that matters.
It's like the Fresh Prince meme.
He's got spirit.
He's got the spirit.
Just taking the lower path just because it's a little bit safer. It's not too much slower, and just kind of to finish it out there. Anyway, so those Serial Gaps. It's one of my favorite courses to play and get the skips on. But
The skips look very satisfying.
they are very satisfying. They're also pretty tough, so that was where many of the dust came from. Anyway, so that was Sapphire Cup. That course is like weirdly placed. It's a lot harder of a course, even casually, than a lot of the other Sapphire Cup courses. It's just really easy to die. It's a lot of places with no walls, there's sharp turns, there's mines. I don't really know what they were thinking putting that there, but
What were they thinking?
I kind of respect it. It actually would have been funny if they started the cup that way, so that everyone playing would be like, oh my god, this is how difficult just the second cup would be, and then everything else is like super easy, and that would have been good. Anyway, so now we got Cylinder Knot. It's the opposite of a pipe, so we're on the outside instead. It is a lot smaller as well, but a lot of the similar driving mechanics apply, but one of the big things is that instead of facing an upslope where I just lose speed, since I'm facing downslopes a lot of the time, if I go too fast, I'll lift off, and since you can't snake in the air, and usually like lifting off is very hectic, as you can kind of see. Snaking on cylinders is quite difficult, especially ones as narrow as this. And it was called Cylinder Knot because that big lump. Actually, not just that lump, but also just like this whole part of the course, it's like, you can see on the minimap, it's just like super twisty and stuff like that, so it's got, a whole knot going.
Pretzel looking guy.
Yeah. I don't know what their obsession with like putting these bars on courses where there's nothing to do, but yeah, they like doing that. I wish this course had more refiller because you're kind of limited on boost, and it's a pretty long course. Like I think it's the longest course up to this point. Yeah, you see, every time I just like lift off and like stop snaking, it's because I didn't follow the grain perfectly and then lifted off for a moment.
I always think about things like those bars. Like, what are those supposed to do in fiction? Like, what purpose are they serving?
What's the explanation for why they would do that? Also,
They seem like a legitimate racing hazard.
This is one of the few stages that has like sometimes will lag. I got like a brief moment there. It's kind of hard to see, but you feel it when you're playing. It's just like the couple frames of choppiness. But in general, this game runs like very well, which is kind of impressive because I think it looks really good for the GameCube
For how
as well.
much, for what it's doing and how fast it's doing it, it's very impressive.
Yeah, and like it looks really good, and it's 60 FPS too. Like a lot of 3D games on the GameCube ran at 30. Like Sunshine was 30.
Yeah.
I feel like this is asking for more than Sunshine. I don't know.
And Sunshine's a perfectly made game.
True.
I don't want to question your expertise, but I can't stop thinking about something you said at the beginning of this course when you said it's the opposite of a pipe. We're on the outside. You know it's still a pipe, right? Like if I'm on the outside of the pipe, it's still a pipe.
To be clear,
No, please, go on. Go on.
the gameplay is opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Not to start discourse in the chat, but that's still a pipe, right?
I mean, I guess it's not a pipe if you can't go inside.
That does not mean that. That's not what that means.
It might be.
No, but it isn't.
A pipe has to be hollow.
Oh.
Doesn't it? Otherwise, it's just a cylinder.
Okay.
No, because
A cylinder...
Marty.
Technically, pipes are cylinders, so...
Man, I want to say bad words so bad right now. I'm being on such good behavior right now. I deserve a cookie after this.
Anyway, now we got intersection. This course, it's a mix of... there's like this pipe that kind of crosses through the course several times, and then you have to drive the part of the course that it's crossing through, which is why it's called an intersection. These turns are like really sharp because you can't really see because you're in the pipe, but if you were on global gravity, you'd see I'm like going down now and then like going straight up, and then it turns and I'm going straight down again. But you'll see towards the end of the course where like the intersection is. But yeah, so coming up like this section here, there's this kind of cool thing where like you kind of, if you don't hit walls, you can go for all 5 boosts. Generally, on snaking, you don't really need to go for all 5. If you're already in boost state, then another boost it does have an effect, but it's pretty diminishing returns. And if you just kind of go for like the first, third, and fifth, you're able to get a lot longer snaking strides, which will get you a lot more speed out of the boost. So in practice, it's kind of faster to just go for like the first, third, and fifth ones because they're all like in a line. Fortunately, this course is a bunch of refiller, which I like. I don't like it when courses don't have a lot of refiller because boosting is fun. See if I can get this and not hit walls. There we go.
Clean.
And there's a big drift I can do like at the end there. Something I haven't talked about, when you're in like a super strong upslope, you actually get these like weird glitchy physics where you don't crash into walls immediately if you touch them unless you hit them really hard. You kind of get like gummy physics, I kind of describe it. So I can do the MTS and like I kind of slide along the wall a little bit and it doesn't kill me, which is very nice because it would be really hard to do that if it did. And there's also like a part where there's like a lump on the course where if you're going slower, you actually lift off. But if you're going fast and are in that like glitchy state, it'll also cling you to the ground. Oh. So I hit the wall there and I was a little bit too far to the right. But just after where I hit the wall, there's like a drop down. And if you're going slow enough that you don't have like the glitch physics, you'll catch air. But if you're going really fast, like I would have been there and I did on lap 2, you keep it. So anyway, as I do this rerun here, probably a good time for some donations.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about our charity, Able Gamers, that we're raising money for here this weekend.
Please do.
Because I did tell y'all about the developer support they do on the software side and the hardware peer support that they do. But Able Gamers also has the Powered by Able Gamers program, a full community effort that not only provides partnered rehabilitation hospitals with assistive tech and gaming hardware, but also provides training to the staff of hospitals that work with these players. This ensures that players can continue their gaming journey after they leave the hospital, when they go home, and during Able Gamers community game nights.
That's killer.
So many cool things that charity does, and such like concrete hands-on work too. It always feels very good to...
Sorry, go ahead.
You first? No. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I really appreciate how very like all-encompassing it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just feels good to donate to something that is like concrete, you know? Like I know exactly what that money is going toward and what it's doing and how it's helping people. That feels really valuable.
I think at this point I'll just slow down here now that I've died. But yeah, so even at that speed, like I catch air there. At pretty much the slowest I can go. But if you're going fast, then you don't. It's super interesting and weird. Oh, something I didn't talk about was like, so handling this pipe section, in general, like, since it turns so sharply, you just kind of want to find the few places that you can get a nice, like, turn and, like, a single stride in a direction and pick up as much speed as possible, preferably with, like, a boost as well. And then just kind of carry that with MT as soon as you can no longer gain speed there. Slowing down here feels really painful, but I don't want to die here again, so. That big drift at the end saves so much time. Like, slowing down there probably cost me like 2 or 3 seconds per lap, but that's what you got to do. So that's an example though of, like I've been saying, like you die a lot in this game. It's just kind of expected, but I probably got time for like 1 or 2 more donations here as I finish this up.
Yeah, absolutely. We have $20 from Mom6226.
Thanks, Mom.
It says, a glitch with their computer is blocking access to the broadcast right now, but that's not going to stop the donation I planned to make Able Gamers today. Thanks to all that organize and participate in this event. Thank you so much for that.
All right, so that was Intersection.
Nice.
Going to be moving on to Double Branches next, which is a course with one of my favorite soundtracks. I like the Casino Palace music a lot. It's very good. You didn't get to hear it for very long on Split Oval because it was such a short course, but Double Branches, I think, is one of the longest courses up to this point. All of, what is this cup? Emerald Cup. The courses get quite a bit longer, so. And this course also has, like, it's a ton of boosters, so it's a very high-speed course, which is fun. I like high speed. If you can tell, if you couldn't tell by me playing this game, I do, in fact, like going fast.
Seems like it.
I love this clown saying good luck.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's really very good.
We'll see him a few more times. This course splits like 3 times, I think.
I want to play Big Roulette.
Ooh. Yep, so there's number 2. Oh, okay, we actually see him on every split. So there's 3. So then I think there's a total of 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Good luck.
That's what it's all about, man.
There's a few places here I've been talking about where like if you're upside down, if you go too fast, you lift off and die. So a couple of them across there, and then one more like right here. I'm coming back to like flat ground here again. But weirdly enough, like you would think, oh, a game like this, you're never gonna use the brake. You actually use the brake a lot. It's really important in certain spots. Sometimes you just have to slow down and you don't really have an option. Fortunately with snaking, you pick up speed really quickly, so slowing down and getting back up to speed isn't too bad. Also, there's an example of like the glitched physics. I was just like sliding along the wall and it was fine. And also I wanted a lot more of that refiller than I got, but it's fine. One thing I like about snaking is like if you miss a bunch of refiller, like obviously it's slow, but in max speed, like that would just be the end of the run because I'd just be driving at like 1,000 kilometers an hour or like 1,100. I just can't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I hate when I'm going that slow. 4-digit kilometers per hour, insufferably slow.
Like, just get off the freeway if you're going that slow.
Honestly. The left lane's for passing, sweetie. Real quick, while we've got a second, we have had a lead change in Adopt a Cat or Dog. Cat is now leading at $70, and Dog is behind at $50.
We gotta change that now.
Oh, your team Dog as well?
We gotta change that now.
I'm shocked. You just said you like to go fast.
Yeah, but I like dogs more.
Okay. Oh, weird. Where'd this come from? $10 from Jeff in 3D. Says, greetings from the couch. Hey man, how's it going?
I must admit, after getting a cat last year, I think I've become more of a cat person. I still love dogs, but cats are pretty good. So my preference would be the cat.
Sorry, are you just gonna ignore that kind donor's question?
What was the question?
Hey man, how's it going?
Oh, it's good.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fine.
Good enough.
Could have used a few more hours of sleep, maybe.
Could have used a few more of those, bud.
This bozo drove down to my house last night and got to my house and realized he didn't have his wallet.
An hour and a half from Irvine to San Diego and realized I didn't have my wallet, so I drove back to Irvine to get my wallet.
And I got a couple jumps here. There's one, and here is two, and then there's one more at the end as well. So this is a half pipe. It's in case it wasn't getting clear by this point, sometimes the courses are very aptly named, and it is in fact a half pipe. But it's got some cool stuff where like it's twisting around. There's like that part where it's like a split half pipe, where the total amount adds up to half. But also got a little shift boost on the ground there, which is pretty cool.
Dave, what's the opposite of a half pipe? Choose your words very carefully.
A half cylinder. There will be a half cylinder later on. In
Will
fact,
there really be?
I will point it out just for you. It's short. it's short, but it's there. I will point it out just for you.
All right.
I'm gonna skip because the setup was a bit weird. This game has like a weird thing where if you, oh, that was quick. Okay, got a little shift boost just before I lifted off there. It's a fairly consistent setup, but feels good to get. I don't remember what I was saying. What were we just talking about? Something about the
half cylinders?
Half cylinder, yeah.
Driving from Irvine.
I was just blaming him for being a bozo, and
I got to his house at 3 a.m.
Oh no!
And then had to double back and go get my friggin' wallet. I think I slept for a total of an hour last night.
Nice. I'm gonna skip this jump again. It's kind of risky. Oh, that's what I was talking about. There's a thing where if you kind of drive off the course at a weird angle, sometimes if you're like sliding or something, it'll kind of put your vehicle in what I call like a death spiral, where it'll kind of forcibly turn you, and sometimes it'll be strong enough that it'll like forcibly turn you harder than you can turn yourself in the opposite direction, and you'll just kind of spiral down. And so if your setup isn't good on the skip, sometimes you'll just get like a death spiral and it'll kill you. So that's why I skipped the jump there.
These lasers don't seem like much of a threat.
No, they do very little damage, but the problem is they do damage, and so if you're at 0 HP, it'll kill you.
I see.
It's actually a really big problem for max speed, because you use the Fat Shark vehicle in max speed, which its boost lasts 2 seconds, so 5 boosts runs you to 0 energy, and then if you touch one of them, then you die. Whereas like the 1.9 second boost on this means that like the 5% that you have left at the end. Oh. So it almost looked like I clipped out there. I was like sliding, and so my turning left just didn't do anything, and then I just kind of like popped over the edge. I thought I was safe.
I thought you did clip out. That wasn't the clip?
Nope, I slipped over the edge, and then it like sprung me right back over. Yeah, that was an example of a death spiral. I saved it, but I like wasn't able to make the turn. The air strafing just like stopped. I missed that. Anyway, again with the lap 3 deaths, so if you have a couple donations, now would be a good time.
Yeah, I'd love to jump in. I want to talk to y'all about some more GDQ you can watch, because we're going to be doing this today, tomorrow, and then again the day after that.
3 whole days.
But what if you want even more GDQ after that?
Surely there's not more.
I'm so glad you asked. But you're wrong. You're so wrong. It's embarrassing.
This is bozo.
Because if you're enjoying watching speedruns of GDQX, make sure you're following the Games Done Quick channel and watching our weekly hotfix shows. Each hotfix season features recurring shows, specials, and showcases of different speedrunners and their communities. Tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern on weekends and 7 p.m. Eastern on weekdays to watch live speedrunning events of game anniversaries, series showcases, and more. See how wrong you were?
I was pretty wrong, man. I didn't really expect it, but jeez, strike 2 for me, man. Just bozoing it up.
Classic Jeff.
No, I wish you weren't right. I want to shout out our friend's hotfix show, but I want to make sure I get the name right. I can't find the name of it, but Mr. Shasta's hotfix show is quite good.
I love Shasta.
Love Shasta.
Shout out to Mr. Underscore, my favorite.
Mr. Underscore is a hero of this generation.
I was almost to death there, but hopefully we make it across the finish line here. Okay, I think we're good. That was a bit rough. Good times like sub 2 there, but we'll take a 209 as opposed to a death.
Last week he had a run of Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, and it was very nice.
Oh, nice. I love Mystery Dungeon. It's a fun game series.
Shout out to Mystery Dungeon.
And moving on to Big Blue here, Ordeal. It's the last Big Blue course you'll be seeing. I meant to... There's like custom songs you can unlock for Big Blue and Mute City. I meant to select it here, but it's too late now.
Dang.
But this course has a bunch of platforms, a bunch of jumps. It's kind of like a giant, giant serial gaps. Not quite as like insane like with a mine boost and stuff, but there's a lot of platform skipping and stuff that's pretty fun. We also get a bit longer with the soundtrack, the Big Blue soundtrack, than like the 40 seconds we got on Drift Highway. I'm always a fan of that.
Do you have a favorite F-Zero song?
Favorite F-Zero song? Also, we just skipped that platform completely. I really like Firefield music.
Firefield rules.
Both in this game and F-Zero X is really good.
You know what no one talks about? The Nintendo Land F-Zero soundtrack.
I am not familiar with
it. Is so extremely good, and Firefield is one of my favorites out of that entire soundtrack. Nobody talks about it.
I'm glad you're leading the charge.
You know what? If nothing else.
Speaking of, just if nothing else, you lead the charge there.
I'm a man of the people. Is there an earthquake happening?
It did feel like it. We had
feel that?
Might have just been someone walking on the stage. There was a little bit of shaking up here.
Made the whole couch move. I'm not crazy.
It's just the driving speed. You see Baba shaking up there, especially when I'm going like really fast.
He's jittering.
He jitters even harder when that crash into the wall at 2,000 kilometers an hour.
I love that it's not really a reaction. It's just a little jitter. Like his face doesn't change.
He's locked in.
Just sort of jiggles.
I didn't mean to boost there. We're okay. Yeah, his face doesn't change. He's locked in, but
is that supposed to be like a camera feed of him?
I think,
or is it just like a picture?
It's a camera feed. If I do a spin attack, it actually spins around. It's actually 3D.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a model.
Yeah.
Oh, then he's just jittering. Yeah, he's super locked in.
Do it. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so stupid. I love that.
I love Baba, my hero. Anyway, moving on to Diamond Cup here. This first course, Trident, it has no walls and it has a bunch of sections that are very narrow, and I definitely just need to like lock in for 2 minutes straight and focus. So if you guys want to yap or handle commentary or provide color commentary to my snaking in a narrow pathway for 2 minutes or donations or whatever, it's up to you guys. But I'm just going to lock in for this course.
We do have $25 from Go123 Attack that says Big Blue theme on repeat. Let's go. Let's go indeed. Big Blue theme. What more could you need?
Happy by 3. Can I call you Happy by 3?
Sure.
Do you have a...
What would the other option be?
Hey, you. Do you have a favorite F-Zero piece of music?
I don't know that I even know the names of all of them. I played a lot of F-Zero X as a child, but I do not know which song goes on which. It might be Big Blue, but the reverse pipe level in F-Zero X, I remember having really, really good music.
Yeah.
And that might be Big Blue.
I think you're right. It's been maybe 15 years since I've touched that game, but I think you're right.
That is correct. Cylinder.
Yes. So yeah, that one.
That's a good...
Don't try to make Cylinder a thing, Matt. Like, it's a reverse pipe. You've locked yourself into this.
Reverse pipe, you freaking goon. I really like these like braiding tracks.
Oh yeah, it's super sick how they like cross over. It'd be great to enjoy this course if I wasn't so locked in trying to just not die. There's a lot of really cool tech you can do here, but it's not really very marathon safe, so I just gotta get through it.
But is it sick though?
Very.
Priorities. Out of whack.
I don't know why it didn't occur to me until now, but being inside of the ship, is that the word officially? Yeah. Ship? The car? Being inside of this while snaking is happening would be terrible.
Oh God, yeah.
Like someone's driving this.
It's just a whiplash machine. Like you're just knocking your neck around.
Not Baba though, he's locked in.
Baba's locked in. Yeah, Baba's like
Nobody's
those F1
got
drivers.
More defined neck musculature than Baba.
Yeah. It's like F1 drivers with those incredible like neck muscles in one direction, but he's got it in all directions.
Oh yeah, no, he like you look at him straight on, and from the ears to the shoulders, it just goes straight down. His neck doesn't taper in.
I had to adjust my thumb on the stick there, and it was very dangerous to like just take my thumb off the stick for a moment.
So if we've been using Baba this whole run, does that mean you is Baba or Baba is you?
Baba is me.
Okay.
Except for the few courses that I didn't use Baba. Anyway, so that was Trident. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do, even just like boost snaking. If you're like boosting constantly, it's a very fast course. You can do a ton of like off-course shift boosts where you strafe off and back on, but it's just too marathon unsafe. And I want to make sure I'm keeping pace with where I should be in the run. So this course though has a lot of shift boosts. This one is one of my favorites to both watch and play. Lateral shift. I think it's where the name for the shift boost came from. Basically, that's places where the course juts to the left or right, and you can just drive off and then strafe back on, and you get a burst of speed each time you do it. So I'll be doing a bunch of those. I could die several times on this course, but should be okay. So
That's a level of locked in I've never witnessed. You just moved the Wii Remote out of the way, and it wasn't in the way.
It was reflecting. It wasn't in the way. It was wobbling, and there was a reflection that was wobbling on the screen.
It was an amazing shift to start a sentence with, I didn't do this because it's not marathon safe. In the next stage, I will be doing some strats that will probably kill me multiple times.
But it looks cool.
The fundamental
though.
difference is that this course is like over a minute faster. And it's also easier to like not die if I'm trying not to.
This is the one where the task gets up around that 10,000 kilometer limit, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Like very easily and very quickly.
It's a cool jump you can do there that I'm trying to get, but I think for the sake of time, I'm not going to go for it on lap 3 unless my setup is like perfect. Because unfortunately, dying on lap 3 loses 3 laps worth of time, but
I wish I had as much energy as the announcer. Yeah, the final lap. So into it.
he really is. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I was going a bit slow there, and this vehicle has so little grip that when you're snaking, it's okay because you're like constantly turning. But when you try and just like tactically when you're snaking, you don't have traditional grip. Kind of have like, essentially call it like quick turning grip. But maintaining traditional grip with this vehicle like I have right now is very difficult. And I was trying to get it there to like set up for the skip, which I think I have a good setup for here. There you go.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple woos in the crowd. There we go.
So I will not go for it again because it's very easy to die on that skip. There's a bunch of things that can happen. You can actually land back at the beginning of the course and do like a backwards shortcut. Unfortunately, if you land at the end of the course, it kills you because you skip too many checkpoints forward. So it can only go badly in that regard. Or you can easily like hit the sand horizon behind you.
What is a backward shortcut?
So imagine a pipe.
Okay.
David looks very locked in, so while you're locked in,
go
you mind
for
if
it.
I read one?
Go for it.
We got $50 just came in from Nyardizark,
Yeah.
which I think is Crazy Train backwards, Yes, it is Crazy Train backwards,
Nice.
Nyardizark. It says, how fast are we going? Light speed. Light speed. Light speed's too slow. We have to go ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
Which raises an important question. How many kilometers per hour is ludicrous speed?
Yes.
I mean, how many kilometers an hour is light speed?
That's got a real answer.
I know.
Yeah, that's a thing that exists.
But I don't know it.
How many kilometers per hour before you go plaid?
Because going plaid, ludicrous speed didn't inherently make them go plaid, right?
You said that like you were going to share the most scientific information. You're like, well, because the thing about going plaid.
Think about it.
I will get your favorite half cylinder coming up here.
Yes.
An undulation. This course,
Undulation.
yeah,
What are they cooking here?
it's got lumps. I think an undulation.
Got lumps.
This is the course. It's lumps.
I mean, I guess I don't know what else you call that.
I'm pretty sure an undulation is just like a term for like a up and down. I don't know the specifics, but
It's undulating.
yeah. Look up the definition of undulation.
Yeah,
you
after
can
I
just
look up the light speed in kilometers per hour.
I don't know. I think Jeff's description of what's undulating, when it undulates is, that's it.
Anyway, specifically, it's got big lumps and little lumps, and the little lumps suck and they kill your speed. And the big lumps are fun. You can get speed off of them.
Is there anything you can do to lose less speed over the little lumps? Or
Oh, this is
it
the half
just-
cylinder. You can fly over them for the most part. Oh, okay. Let me.
Oh, this can't be right. The speed of light is exactly 300,000 kilometers per second. That can't be right. That's way. Oh no, that's not right. It is
I love
299,792 kilometers per second. Oh, it's per second. You want per mile?
Yeah. I mean, just yeah.
Or per
times-
hour, I mean.
Times 3,600. So.
Yeah, it's a big number.
Oh,
As one.
those bars are evil.
0.079 to the 9th power.
That's a lot. Okay.
And then you want to know the definition of undulation.
Yeah.
If anyone in the chat wants me to look things up for them, just shout them
Yeah,
out.
just toss it in the donos, will you? Donate $10
God.
to charity and get your questions Googled live on air.
Yeah, no, actually, I will Google any standard Googleable question for a $10 donation. Let's bring them in.
Anyway, so for these small lumps, yeah, I'm trying to just hit these jump plates. I kind of accidentally completely missed it before, but just kind of fly over it. On boost laps, you can go even faster and skip like almost all of them, but
Y'all are not going to believe this.
I'm ready.
The definition of undulation is the action of smoothly moving up and down.
I'm afraid this is not very smooth. I think this
I don't think this is very smooth.
This is a misnomer of a course. False advertising, perhaps. May have a potential lawsuit here.
David, I know you're not a lump fan, but we have $25 from Big Law that says, I love lump.
I love you, Big Law.
I
love
also
Big Law.
love Big Law. Big Law fan.
Oh, huge Big Law fan.
That was an incredible launch, and I just missed the track, unfortunately. But that was like further than I usually ever go. Like I landed or failed to land in the narrow section because I went so far. Usually I land before it. Yeah, shout out to Big Law.
I'm still seeing dog losing the cat, and I don't know, man. Someone's got to do something about that.
For the sake of randomly adopting an animal, I feel like cats tend to do that more because they just kind of show up because they're more commonly strays. Sometimes cats will just like show up at your house and it's like, oh, I have a cat now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that was hot. Oh my God.
that was actually pretty good. And I managed to land in the narrow section that time.
We got to get more donations coming in for the Stardew Valley incentive. That's coming up next.
Yeah, that run is starting right after this, and we right now are at 485 out of 1,500, so just about a third of the way there. But chat, we have only got until the end of the Stardew Valley run to make that happen. We got to get those donos in.
How long is the Stardew run?
A little over an hour.
All right, we got to get them in.
But I don't know. There's some certified gamers, so it might be less than an hour.
Ooh, that's true.
You have to account for gaming when you consider estimates.
Unfortunately,
for
you're right. As much as I don't want to, you're right.
Just gonna play it very safe here and okay.
Speaking of gaming, this guy just going in a straight line.
True. Straight lines in my racing game? Never.
I don't even know why we're featuring racing speedruns in the first place.
True.
I don't know why this was my first thought after that, but can we put together like a highlight reel of this run, but it's just when you're going in a straight line?
Yo! That's good.
It's like real intense music behind it and just straight line.
Oh, that's really good.
I think the funniest part is like if it was any other racing game, you'd look at that and be like, okay, he's just taking a good clean driving line there. No.
No.
They just don't translate into streams at all, really.
True.
To be fair, no one's tried snaking in F1 though.
True.
Right? Like, we don't know that snaking
We don't know
is
that it
not
won't work.
optimal for Formula
We
1.
don't know that.
Might be banned tech just like it is in this game.
Oh, hey, Jeff, challenge
Yes.
accepted donated $25 and would
go.
like to know how much wood a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Yeah, so the thing about that is it really depends on the climate and the part of the country the woodchuck is located in.
We also have $25 from Wonder J, who would like to know
Wonder
how
J.
many atoms are in the observable universe.
Wonder J, I got you on that one, bud. How many atoms in the observable universe?
In the meantime, I can talk about the course. You got Dragon Slope. You can see on the minimap it's a dragon. And there's a big slope. And then you get the name Dragon Slope, if you can believe it.
So it's around, rough estimate, somewhere between 10 to the 78th and 10 to the 82nd. Which is, for those that don't know, if
lot.
a million has 6 zeros after it, 10 to the 78th has 78 zeros after it.
This narrow hallway is very
Maybe
evil.
we should stop naming our kids Adam. If there's that many,
Too many.
that's too many atoms.
That is too many atoms. Sorry.
And there's only like 3 million people in the world, which is the really challenging part.
That's incredible.
Yeah, how could there be
Also,
8
I think
billion
there's like
atoms if there's only 3
7
million?
billion people in the world, or 8 billion?
No, not even close. You still believe that?
No. Sadly, we can't Google anything
You
unless
still
someone
believe?
donates. Could someone donate to Google how many people are on Earth?
Yeah, we're not allowed to look it up.
You still believe what NASA's telling you? That's crazy.
We just had a $250 donation come in from So. Thank you so much. So that put us over the halfway mark on the Harvey 10 heart cutscene that says Heart Train for Harvey.
Can we get a heart train going? I think we can. That's on you, chat. Get it going.
All right, so that was Dragon Slope. It's pretty easy to die there because there's a lot of places with no walls, and also some sections where you just, if you hit a wall, you'll start wobbling back and forth, and you can die there. Now moving on to the course with probably the most walls in the cup, weirdly enough, is the final one, Slimline Slits. It's got a bunch of super narrow sections, but it's actually pretty fun to snake because they like curve and you turn with it. And a lot of people hate this course, but I actually really like it. It's probably my favorite course in the cup.
You're just built different.
True. It's got some dives and like some jumps and stuff like that you can do. It's also got, I like the soundtrack, I like the appearance of the course. It's basically this game's Rainbow Road, but instead of Rainbow Road, it's Phantom Road.
Do we still have another cup after this?
We do have one more cup after this,
Yeah.
yes.
God, this is so aggressively 2002.
I was trying to think of the best reference for just how early aughts this is, but I can't think of the name of that cartoon. Another thing someone needs to donate to Google. You know that cartoon that was like early 3D animation and it all looks like this?
Are you talking about that one that was on PBS?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to say it or do you want to wait for a donation to come in? Because I remember it.
You do?
I do.
Let's see if someone donates for it.
Yeah, you guys don't get to know what it is unless you donate for it.
You can just tell me in confidence after the run if no one donates.
I'll just whisper it softly in your ear.
I haven't shown off one of the other jumps I was looking for, so maybe I can get it here on lap 3. Basically, after you land from this, you can get a little jump here. I think I got it here. Oh, no, not quite. I like started to lift off, but you can just get like a little jump and kind of soar into that dive. It's pretty fast, but I don't know. I don't find these like narrow hallways that difficult to snake because you're already turning, so since you turn with them, it just kind of goes pretty well. This section here, I actually have to slow down because if you lift off, you'll flap and die, so. I know, this one done, so it's the last course in Diamond Cup. So some people don't even know the final cup, AX Cup, exists. It's weird, I'm trying to remember exactly how you unlock it, but it's like after you beat the first 3 cups that you start with in Grand Prix, then you unlock Diamond Cup and a harder difficulty. And then if you beat all 4 cups on the harder difficulty, then you can buy the AX Cup courses from the shop. And then if you buy all 5 and then beat that cup, then you can buy the final course, Sonic Oval, which doesn't actually play in Grand Prix.
Man,
but
speaking of ovals, Don Genie is built.
I love Don Genie.
God.
He drives the heaviest vehicle in the base game. If you
I bet. He's such a cross between
check out that scar across his eye and like the
scar across his eye is powerful because on top of that he's what's his name from Tekken mixed with Kingpin, and that's just a really powerful vibe.
Yeah, I would not.
He doesn't need the scar in his eye, but he's got it.
I would not mess with Don Genie.
We just got $5 from Reboot Fan 2002.
Yeah.
That says the show is called Arthur.
Oh no.
No, it's not.
Is it killing you to say it?
A little bit. I want to say it.
I mean, is it Reboot? Is that why that's their name?
No,
Okay.
no, it wasn't Reboot.
Hockey Babbler donates $5 and says, Jeff, tell happybythree that they're thinking of either Reboot or Cyber Chase.
You're thinking of Cyber Chase there, bud.
I was thinking of Cyber. I don't know if I was, though.
I don't think I've ever heard of Reboot.
So I was going.
No, I was thinking of Reboot.
I need to look up Reboot
Yeah,
then, because
it's,
that was giving me Cyber Chase.
It's CGI animation, and it's, I mean, not great.
I was going.
Oh,
for
was Cyber Chase not? Wait, maybe I'm getting them mixed up.
I think Cyber Chase was 2D. Yeah, Cyber Chase is 2D.
I was going for a suicide finish there, but I messed
Oh,
it
you're
up, so.
right.
In
Cyber Chase is the one with that weird bird.
In the interest of time, I'll just finish this out. unfortunately. As much as I'd love to show off the suicide, it's a bit inconsistent. Basically, you just crash into this back wall, and it launches you across the finish line. Like, if you do that MTS and hit the wall instead of pulling in, it'll just kind of fly across the finish.
Reboot was on for 7 years. Holy smokes.
If you want to be sad today, think about Reboot getting that many more seasons than Firefly.
I mean, it looks, just by the look of it, like, I think Reboot was made for like 75 cents an episode.
Did Reboot like miss a year in the middle, and then did they have to reboot?
God, I wish. We should reboot.
Start a campaign to reboot, yeah.
This logo is so aggressively, I don't know how to describe it, but like books about science you'd buy for an 8-year-old. I'll show you this picture when I'm done.
Scholastic book fair?
Oh, it is so Scholastic book fair it hurts.
And here we got Meteor Stream. This is the only outer space venue, so it's got unique music and it's kind of cool. There's no walls because you're technically in a pipe, but it's so flat that it just feels like normal snaking. But it's got a lot of like flying through the air and stuff. It's pretty satisfying, and then a lot of boosters. Generally like a very high-speed course for Condor, which I like.
You got a lot of space to move around.
Yeah, so you can get like super wide strides. Like I was saying earlier, like basically the wider your strides are, the more speed you'll gain. So you can do like super wide strides and get a bunch of speed.
USB-C looking tunnel.
It is mesmerizing. Like, I keep looking over at the game feed and being just
No, it really
so
is.
pulled in. It's just so fun to watch.
It's so fluid.
It's even more fun to do, actually, believe it or not.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
It's an outlandish claim. I acknowledge that. Might be hard to believe, but it is true. Although it takes like 6 months to be able to drive without hitting walls with snaking, so it might actually not be fun. You might be right.
Do I want to invest 6 months for vibes? I don't know.
That is a hard sell. I won't lie. But yeah, Meteor Stream. That course is a vibe for sure. I'm a big fan. Here we got another cylinder course. It's actually like a flattened cylinder for most of it.
What does that mean? Okay.
I think you mean flat reverse pipe.
I think he does too.
I think you might be right. Flat reverse pipe, yeah. But here it's not flat.
I mean,
the most frustrating part is I don't know what else to say.
If you flatten this reverse pipe far enough, it would just become a track again. So are all the tracks just flattened reverse pipes?
It'd be like Meteor Stream, where like it was technically a pipe, but it was just like a flat course. It'd be a normal course, but with no walls, and you could drive on the sides or upside down if you really tried.
I'm into that. That's fun.
This course, a large part of it is basically just like trying to get through the wide sections and build up as much speed as possible, so that when the narrow sections come, I like have as much speed to carry through.
Yeah, they're giving you some really good straightaways.
Yeah.
We are making some incredible progress on this Harvey 10 Heart cutscene. We just got another $100 donation from John Toe that says, "Let's go
Thank
to
you
the
very
clinic
much.
to see Harvey." We do need to go to the clinic to see Harvey. He's a doctor, right?
He is a doctor.
I'm assuming from context clues he's a doctor.
He's a doctor and a, what's the word? What's the people that give you drugs legally?
Pharmacist?
Yes.
That legally was doing a lot of lifting there.
I had to differentiate. I had to make sure.
Always got to be careful about what you talk about on GDQ stream, right?
That's not what this is.
It's just a pharmacist, don't worry.
He's just a pharmacist.
Oh, we have some important information. $5 from, oh, it disappeared for a second. Sorry, $5 from Hilalius. I'm going with that. We don't talk about the reboot that came out in 2018.
Oh no.
Wait, it did?
So there apparently was a reboot.
Hold the phone.
We also have $25 from GDex86 that says, I had to do it to raise objections to all this reboot slander.
You guys think we could,
you're not gonna, it had a subtitle. It was called
I love a reboot with a subtitle.
The Guardian Code.
Ooh.
Do you think we could petition them to bring it back again like they did with Morbius? Just completely trick them.
It's a real crime they didn't call it reboot : the reboot. Like, that was right there.
A little bit.
Oh, there's an example right there. I was talking earlier in the run about there's like a couple of places that you do rail slides other than at the end. This vehicle's a tank, so it took like no damage from it. And I'll actually be doing one of those like on all 3 laps. That narrow section it's so narrow that like you can't snake through, and it's even hard to just get your speed through to begin with, so you just kind of do rail slide. The setup's also like super satisfying because you come in like from a long turn, so you build up a bunch of speed. And MTSs are a bit of speed multiplier as well. So if you approach them with high speed, then you'll get a lot more speed during them.
To answer your question, David, we should absolutely bully the reboot people into rebooting the reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Morbius situation was like one of the craziest things I've seen.
It's just crazy that it worked.
It is.
Sorry, we were all busy that weekend. Give us another chance. We have $5 from Base Fishbone, who would like...
Yeah.
I'm going with Base Fishbone because I like the band Fishbone. They may have meant Bass Fishbone because that's a fish, but, you know, we make our own destinies. Mm-hmm. They would like to know if a reverse pipe has 1 or 2 holes.
I guess
we've only got like 10 more minutes left in the run, man. I can't get into that. Does a straw have 1 hole, 2 holes, or none? Because to be a straw, it inherently needs to be open.
Okay, but like a hole in the ground is still a hole, even though being a hole is an inherent part of being a hole, right?
But, no, but that's to say that having a hole is an inherent part of being the ground.
Oh, fair.
If you don't have holes, you can't have a straw without being hollow.
Yeah, otherwise it's just a cylinder.
If it's closed up, it's just a cylinder, as we all know. A reverse pipe, some might say.
Some might say that.
Some, not me. Not me, but some.
So this was Thunder Road. I didn't really talk a whole lot about it. It's a very high-speed course, but I crashed into walls and came to complete dead stops several times because the corners are very unforgiving and very sharp, and we'll do that. But yeah, it's a fun course. So moving on to the second to last course, and it's actually the longest course in the game. It's Green Plant Spiral. You can just see from the map, like it's a behemoth.
Good looking.
It's a behemoth. I really like this course. It's not using Magic Seagull.
I love, more so than the fact that every vehicle has a name, they have a logo. Like they're stylized. Yeah. That rules.
Yeah, this game has a lot of love in it, for sure. But yeah, they also like just kind of stuck like every type of course hazard on it, except like mines. Like you start out in a pipe.
Oh, that's a pipe that's a reverse pipe inside of a pipe.
Yeah. Also, a little skip there. Just kind of skip a part where it flips over. I'm not going to do it on boost laps because it's pretty easy to die and I don't want to lose 2 minutes. But
that's like one of those, what do you call that? A Klein bottle. You know what that is?
I assume it's one of those where you have a bottle inside of another bottle or something like that.
No, it's like, you know how a Mobius strip, the front is the back?
Oh, yeah.
It's that, but in 3D.
I see.
So if you were to trace any point along the outside of the object,
eventually
it'll loop inside of itself and be the inside layer of the object.
There's a skip you can do there. If I had a little more height, I could have landed like up here. It's pretty cool. It's a little bit easier on boost laps. Like, hopefully I can show it off. But also, at any point, it's just easy to mess up. Basically, if you just approach that jump with enough speed and you're on like the right side, you'll lift off as early as possible. Yeah, so this is what driving it normally would be. And then I landed like down here. Skipping out boost laps isn't too bad because you can just boost and pick up a bunch of speed instead from the turns. The first half is like a bunch of upslopes, so you can't snake through, but the second half you can come out with a bunch of speed.
How many more tracks do we have left?
There's this one and one more, and the last one is the shortest course.
So the next one is the last one, or the one after that?
The next one is last.
Got it.
I wanted more of that refill. Should do it. Yeah.
Nice.
I struggled with that skip for like a while. I was doing like kind of a janky setup that worked more like the max speed setup, which is easier, but doesn't work very well in snaking, but it would get me up across. But I finally figured out like the correct way, which is kind of did there. You pretty much just build up a bunch of speed and you're going so fast, you freely lift off. The other method, you would do like a drift and then side attack off, and that would pull you up into the air, but it was slow. And I don't like going slow.
Dead heat on dog versus cat, man.
Showdown of the century.
Yeah, we are sitting right now with Cat at 100 and Dog at 80. And while the incentive for the Harvey Tenhart cutscene can go until the end of the run, the cat or dog has to be decided by the start of the run. You adopt your animal pretty early. So if you have some strong feelings about dogs getting in the lead there, you should make that happen now because you are running out of time. Oh God, I'm sorry to do this to you before the last track, but we have $5 from Sweet Pup that says, just want to point out the reboot was also live action. Incredible.
No way.
Also, is a hot dog just a reverse cylinder sandwich?
I'm gonna say some not nice words pretty soon.
I am staying away from the hot dog sandwich debate. I have my opinions and I will not be expressing them on stream.
You know, we got a bit of a crowd. Can we make some noise for the last run or last race?
I truly thought you were going to say, could we make some noise for reverse cylinders?
Can we?
Well, yeah, can we?
Thank you very much.
Anyway, so this is Sonic Oval. It's just an oval with a ton of boosters and full refill. And of course, it kind of acts like a chain reaction because you pretty much do drift through the turns because they're upslopes, so you can't like snake them very well. Missing that booster already ruined my chain reaction, but it's fine. But when this course is done like fully correctly, it looks really cool. Let's see if I can get, oh my God.
12-second lap time is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a short course. I think my personal best lap is like 8 seconds. Anyway, when I cross the finish line, it'll be coming up on time here. So very shortly. And time. So there you go. That was F-Zero GX snaking. Thanks again to GDQ for having me. Thanks, Jeff, for commentating.
That was a blast.
1 hour of sleep.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon.